Welcome to the Nonprofit Founders Club, where founders who have said, I have my 501c3, now what? Begins building the nonprofit they envisioned and helping the people they are called to serve, all without being the sole funder. Hey there, fellow changemaker. I'm Alesha Mathis, founder of the Nonprofit Founders Club. I've always wished I could clone myself to help more nonprofit leaders, but since that's not possible yet, I've enlisted the help of my AI-powered podcast hosts. These digital co-hosts are here to share my best advice, frameworks, and real-world tips straight from my playbook to your earbuds. Every episode is based on my experience and passion for supporting founders like you. So get comfy, meet your new AI dream team, and let's dive into today's episode.
Okay, let's unpack this. Ever found yourself nodding along when someone says, you really should throw a fundraiser for your nonprofit? But then your mind immediately goes blank. Or maybe worse, it fills with this swirling vortex of questions. What kind of event? Who would even show up? Do we need a fancy ballroom, a catering crew, a whole army of staff?
Oh, definitely. That feeling is so common.
If that sounds familiar, you are absolutely unequivocally not alone. Especially if you're a nonprofit founder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're fueled by passion, driven by a mission that truly keeps you up at night.
Absolutely.
And let's be honest, you're likely juggling the work of 5 people with a team of 1.
Mm-hmm. Doing it all.
Right. So the idea of adding a massive event to that already overflowing plate can feel less like an opportunity and more like a fast track to burnout. You just want to make a difference, not suddenly become an event planning guru overnight.
Exactly. You didn't sign up for that part.
Today, our deep dive is into a book that truly gets it. It's like finding that wise, calm friend who walks you through the chaos, reminding you to breathe. We're diving into Planning a Small Nonprofit Fundraising Event by Alesha Mathis. And its subtitle perfectly captures its essence, a step-by-step guide for founders doing it all. This isn't about grand galas or, impossible feats. It's about empowering you to plan something simple, meaningful, and most importantly, truly doable.
And what's fascinating here is how Alesha Mathis, the author, she really understands that feeling of overwhelm because quite literally she's lived it. She started her journey in the nonprofit sector way back in 2008, worked in all sorts of roles, admin, program development, you name it. And she saw firsthand the immense pressure on small nonprofits, those endless to-do lists, and the very real threat of burnout for these dedicated leaders.
So she's in the trenches.
Absolutely. It was this personal experience, trying to do absolutely everything herself that drove her back in 2017 to found Mathis Nonprofit Services. Her mission became super clear: to help other nonprofit leaders avoid the kind of exhaustion she'd personally experienced. So with nearly 2 decades of insights, this guide isn't just theory, it's packed with real-world wisdom. It's unequivocally, as you said, built for founders like you, people doing a lot with a little and making it count. Her philosophy, it really centers on providing a concrete, actionable plan that works, helping you sidestep those common pitfalls and, frankly, the sheer exhaustion that comes from juggling too much. It's about empowering you to turn your vision into reality, making sure every effort truly counts toward your mission without sacrificing your sanity.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Because the book starts with something that seems so obvious, yet it's often the first thing that gets pushed aside in the rush to do something. Start with purpose. You'd think that's a given, right?
Yeah.
But in the whirlwind of running a nonprofit, why do you think this foundational step often gets sort of overlooked? And how does Mathis bring us back to basics in a way that really shifts the game?
That's the core, isn't it? We jump straight to logistics, the venue, the catering, the date, before we've even clarified why we're doing it beyond, we need money.
Mm-hmm.
Mathis's genius is enforcing that pause, making us ask, okay, wait, is this event truly about building deeper relationships with our existing loyal donors? Or are we actually aiming to raise broader awareness in our local community, trying to draw in new eyes and new hearts? Maybe it's even a strategic way to identify new volunteers, or perhaps potential board members.
So getting really specific about the why.
Exactly. By digging deeper into why, she ensures every effort after this point is truly aligned, not just, busy work. She really underscores defining your audience to who exactly is this event for. Is it your longtime supporters or maybe curious new members of the public? The clearer you are on who you're speaking to, the more effective your outreach and planning will be. And then here's the crucial part. She stresses making your purpose a measurable outcome.
Measurable. Yeah.
Right. So instead of a vague, we want to raise money, it becomes something like, we want to raise $1,000 to support our after school program. Or maybe we aim to have 30 attendees and we want 10 of those to be new to our organization.
I see.
When you can measure it, you can see if it worked, you can improve it next time. And that clarity is incredibly powerful, especially for small teams.
I love that shift from vague to measurable. It makes the goal feel so much more tangible, doesn't it?
Totally.
So once your purpose and audience are crystal clear, the book then helps you pick the right event for you. And this is where, like you said, the humor and truly relatable examples come in. She definitely wants you to think beyond the stuffy gala or formal banquet that often comes to mind.
Oh yeah, forget the gala if it doesn't fit.
She acknowledges that these larger events can be overwhelming and often just don't fit the reality of small nonprofits. What are some of those common pitfalls founders fall into when picking an event type? And how does her approach empower them to choose something that actually works for them?
That's such an important question. The big pitfall is often trying to impress, right? Or just copying what bigger organizations do, which inevitably leads to overstretching and burnout. This raises important questions she poses. What can you reasonably manage, given your available time, energy, and, let's be real, resources?
Right, what's actually doable?
Exactly. Mathis suggests that intimate, mission-driven events are incredibly powerful and often much more effective for relationship building anyway. Think along the lines of coffee chats, maybe. Inviting a few key supporters to a local cafe for a really informal update.
Okay.
Or maybe community Q&As at a library where you share your work and answer questions. Even house parties, if you have a generous board member with a suitable home, can feel incredibly personal. And don't forget virtual. Virtual panels or those weeknight virtual meetups, they cut down on venue costs and open up your geographical reach.
Yeah, virtual's huge now.
Definitely. These smaller events are praised for requiring far fewer logistics, being significantly less expensive, and feeling much more personal. They allow attendees to truly connect with you and your cause on a deeper level. Imagine, like, an animal rescue hosting a pause and coffee chat online. Attendees meet a couple of adoptable animals virtually, hear a quick success story, and then have an open Q&A with the founder. It's simple, direct, and connects people.
I love that example.
It's all about stressing alignment with your actual capacity, not trying to impress people with an event that's way beyond your means. The goal is showing up authentically and inviting others into your work in a way that feels natural and sustainable.
That's incredibly freeing to hear, like permission to think small and personal.
Yeah.
Okay, so once we have the big picture, the purpose, the right kind of event, Mathis doesn't leave us hanging. She immediately gets into the nitty-gritty of how to execute without that familiar sense of dread setting in. The book then helps you plan your event without overwhelm. This means breaking everything into super manageable steps, like using an event checklist with weekly to-dos, so you're never facing everything at once, which frankly is a lifesaver.
A total lifesaver.
But crucially, she emphasizes realizing that you're not meant to do everything alone, powerfully empowering you to ask for help and delegate tasks. Now, for a solo founder, or maybe a tiny team, how does that practically look? How does she help overcome that sort of ingrained belief that we have to do it all ourselves?
Exactly. That belief, that solo founder mentality, it's a huge barrier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mathis tackles it head on. She provides not just a checklist, but a framework for thinking about who else might be able to step up. For instance, even if you're technically a team of one, could a dedicated volunteer maybe take ownership of tracking RSVPs?
Okay.
Or could a board member handle setting up the coffee and refreshments? Or maybe a friend with design skills could whip up the event flyer. It's not about offloading everything onto others,
Right.
but about identifying small, manageable chunks that others can actually own. That frees you up to focus on the things only you can do, like sharing your mission story with passion. She encourages you to literally make a list of tasks and then brainstorm who might have the skills or the willingness to help with each one. And it's often about asking specifically, not generally.
Yeah, that's key.
Yeah, instead of can someone help, it's, hey, Sarah, could you manage the guest check-in from 6 to 7 p.m.? This clear delegation makes it way easier for others to say yes and, frankly, for you to let go. It's a mental shift from I must do it all to I can orchestrate and empower others.
That's a powerful distinction, orchestrating versus doing it all yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it smoothly moves into promote with purpose,
Yeah.
emphasizing that marketing doesn't have to be loud or flashy, just clear and consistent. She advises choosing just 2 or 3 communication channels that make the most sense for your audience. Typically, she recommends email, social media, and good old personal outreach for most small nonprofits.
The basics that work.
Exactly. What's truly fascinating here is her practical advice on planning an email series. It's not just like one email blast, but a sequence of a save the date, then a full invitation, then a reminder, and finally a last call. How does she suggest tailoring each of those? And what's her brilliant reframe for those of us, myself included sometimes, who feel nervous about bugging people with too many messages?
Oh, this section is gold for anyone feeling shy about promotion. For the email series, the save the date is super brief, just highlights the basic info, what, when, where. The full invitation provides all the details, maybe includes a short story or an impact statistic to draw people in.
Okay.
The reminder is a gentle nudge, maybe with a fresh piece of information, like spotlighting a particular program the event will support. Adds a little something new.
Got it.
And the last call creates that sense of urgency. Don't miss out. Each email builds on the last, adding a new layer, preventing it from feeling repetitive or annoying. And on social media, she stresses consistency. It's about showing up regularly, even if it's just a quick post with a compelling image and a link. People often need to see something multiple times before they actually take action. Right?
True, yeah.
But the real game changer is her reframe for those who might be nervous about bugging people. She says, if you're nervous about bugging people, remember this. You believe in your mission. Inviting people to support it is a service, not a burden.
Wow.
It completely flips the script, isn't it? You're not begging, you're offering them an opportunity to be part of something meaningful, to make a difference alongside you. That mindset shift can empower you to promote with genuine confidence, not apology.
That reframe, service not burden, is truly liberating. It really is like a permission slip to speak up for your mission. Okay, so we've planned, we've promoted, and now the big day is here. Host the event.
For many founders, this is the ultimate anxiety inducer. What's Mathis's core advice for managing that stress and ensuring the event itself is a success, even if it's not, perfect? And what about when something inevitably goes wrong? Because something always does, right?
Oh, absolutely. Something small always happens. And that's such a crucial question because perfection is truly the enemy here. Her first piece of advice, she guides you to literally take a deep breath. And she reminds you that your main job on event day isn't to be a flawless event manager. It's to be present, to genuinely connect with people.
Okay, focus on connection. Yes. Greet people warmly, share your passion and your mission, make eye contact, listen to their questions, tell your story with enthusiasm. Remember, you are the heart of the organization. People are there because they care about the cause, and connecting with you reinforces that. And perhaps her most freeing piece of advice for this day is simply to stay flexible. Things will go wrong. Maybe a speaker is 5 minutes late. The coffee machine might temporarily malfunction, or the microphone could cut out for a second.
In there.
We all have. But she brilliantly points out most of the time your guests won't even notice. Or if they do, they won't care nearly as much as you do. It's about adapting with a smile, keeping the mission front and center, and just keeping that positive energy flowing. Don't let a small hiccup derail your enthusiasm or your ability to connect with your supporters. Your calm, positive demeanor will dictate the atmosphere far more than any minor technical glitch ever could.
That's incredibly freeing to hear.
Yeah.
It shifts the focus from this impossible standard of flawless execution to just authentic connection.
Yeah.
Okay. And then once the event is over, the temptation for any exhausted founder is just to collapse, right? Just check it off the list.
Oh, absolutely. The adrenaline dump is real.
But she emphasizes a vital, often overlooked step. Follow up, plus keep momentum going. Why is that so critical, and why do you think it's often the first thing to get dropped when the dust settles?
This is where the real relationship building happens, and it's just as important, maybe even more so than the event itself.
Yeah.
Many founders, understandably, make the mistake of moving on too quickly. They see the event as the finish line.
Yeah.
But Mathis stresses that it's actually just the beginning of the next phase. The first step is personalized thank you emails to every single attendee, donor, and volunteer, letting them know the specific impact their support made. And not a generic thank you, but something that maybe references their presence or a specific contribution, if possible, makes it feel genuine.
Personal touch.
Exactly. Beyond thank yous, she advises sharing the story of the event. Post photos on social media, send out a follow-up newsletter with a quick recap, celebrate the wins, even the small ones. Did you raise $500? Great. Did 3 new people sign up for your newsletter? Awesome. Did you get a new volunteer sign up? fantastic. Those are absolutely worth sharing and celebrating with your community. Shows momentum.
Right. Shows progress.
And then, critically, track who attended. Add them to your email list if they aren't already there. Make notes if someone expressed specific interest in volunteering, donating more, or learning more about a program. These people are now warm leads.
Warm leads, okay.
They've already shown up for your mission. You absolutely don't want to let that connection fade. Following up, she emphasizes, truly turns that one-time engagement into long-term support. It's all about nurturing those connections into lasting advocacy for your cause.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener, the founder out there, trying to make a difference in the world with maybe not a ton of resources? This deep dive into planning a small nonprofit fundraising event. It isn't just a dry guide, is it?
Not at all.
It feels more like a supportive friend in your pocket, reminding you of some core truths about impactful work. It really reinforces that idea that action beats perfection, and it gently encourages you to simply start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. It's about empowering you to move forward without that paralysis that comes from striving for some impossible ideal.
Absolutely. Ultimately, Mathis shows that these small but mighty events aren't just about raising funds, though that's important. They're really about building community and deepening commitment to your cause. And that brings us to maybe a final thought for you to consider. If the goal is truly long-term support, not just a one-off fundraiser, what's one specific, maybe tiny action you could take this week to nurture one of those warm leads from your last event, even if that event was just a simple coffee chat you hosted months ago?
Just one small step.
Just one small step. It's about taking that first action, no matter how small it seems, to turn that past engagement into lasting advocacy.
That's great advice. So if you're a nonprofit founder feeling overwhelmed by the whole idea of fundraising, or maybe just curious about how to make a significant impact with the resources you already have, this book sounds like an absolute must-read. Alesha Mathis has truly laid out a path that shows you unequivocally you've got this.
That's it for the Nonprofit Founders Club podcast. Hit subscribe so you won't miss the next episode. In the meantime, keep building your nonprofit so you can help those you are called to serve.